Despite countless conjectures about a possible contact or some evidence that is being hidden, SETI states that we haven't yet received a confirmed signal and makes it clear that as far as SETI is concerned, it wouldn't be a piece of information to hide.
A lot of people in this country figured the federal government would cover it all up because the public couldn't handle the news. Well, we know that isn't true because we've had false alarms. And what actually happens is the media are very interested. The newspapers, the radio shows, TV shows, they call you up right away if you get any kind of interesting signal.
So according to the SETI protocol, the day they confirm the first signal indicative of extraterrestrial intelligence, they will make the news known worldwide. A fact that, considering technological advances, may occur in a short time.
There are sort of guesses as to how many societies might be out there broadcasting, and those guesses run from maybe 10,000 to 1 million. Well, if the correct number is anywhere in that range, then we should find something within a few decades. So, this is not like building cathedrals in the Middle Ages. This is something that's going to work within one generation if it's going to work at all.
If I had to bet when we will find intelligence beyond Earth, I'd say in the next 20 years. And it's simply because technology is advancing all the time. SETI success depends on computing power.
What will happen from then on? What will occur when we receive a signal and it is confirmed as extraterrestrial? How would that affect our lives, our priorities, our conception of the world, and our own identity? Is humankind prepared?
So what happens if we find a signal? If we find evidence that they're out there, people will still go to work the next day, or if they're in school, they'll still go to school. They won't divorce their spouses. There won't be civil unrest. They won't be rioting in the streets. It's just that we will know something really important, that as wonderful as Earth is, as wonderful as our species is, we're not the only kids on the block. And I think it's good to know that if it's true.
In January 2010, the Royal Society held a conference entitled The Detection of Extraterrestrial Life and the Consequences for Science and Society. The introduction of the conference was as follows. Astronomers are able now to detect planets where life may exist, and the living generation could see the signature of extraterrestrial life being detected. Should it turn out that we are not alone in the universe, it will fundamentally affect how humanity understands itself, and we need to be prepared for the consequences.
Over the long term, if you actually did get a message and could understand it, of course, that could be very transformative. Imagine, giving, Neanderthals the keys to your local library. Say, hey, you might want to read some of this stuff. That would change everything for them. So there is that potential, although I think it's a fairly far-fetched idea.
Concerned that a discovery could be close, humankind has slowly started to prepare itself to establish a protocol procedure. Neither a country nor a collective of people would be represented, but all of humankind.
There's a protocol called the Declaration of Principles Concerning Activities Following the Detection of Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And this provides guidelines about what do we do next. The most fundamental issue raised in this protocol is before there is a reply, there should be broad-based global discussion. That if we are to speak to another civilization, if we are to send a response, it should be a response that has gathered global input. This wasn't transmitted to the SETI Institute or to any other organization. The message was transmitted to Earth. It belongs to the whole Earth. It should be shared widely.
Most scientists agree that a finding like this would alter and transform the status quo in many ways. What would be its effect on our society, our science, our technology, or our religion?
So for me, detecting another civilization is a way of coming to a better understanding of who we are as human beings. It would mean a chance to see whether the ways of knowing that we've developed here on Earth, our math, our science, our ways of expressing ourselves, our music, our art, are they somehow tapping into something that goes beyond Earth, or are they uniquely ours?
The discovery would be on the same level as those of Copernicus and Darwin, and as of the transforming events in human history. However, it will be decades before people get used to the idea that we are not alone in the universe, and its real meaning becomes deeply ingrained, as occurred with the heliocentric cosmology and biological evolution. It's likely that our first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization will happen when the Allen Telescope Array detects a message that confirms, at last, the existence of extraterrestrial intelligent life, or when one of the people connected to the SETI at Home project announces that his computer has decoded some of the signals of the Arecibo telescope. Then, our first contact will be a unidirectional conversation. We might capture some intelligent message by chance, but it could take decades or centuries before our answer gets to them, given the huge distances of the universe.
Let me tell you what my hope for the impact of the detection of a distant technology would be. What I hope is that we can make it understood to the people on this planet that the only way that contact happened was because, on average, technological civilizations have a long lifetime. We're sitting here as a very young technology, and we literally do not know whether it's possible to grow old, to be able to be wise enough to manage our population, to shepherd our planet, to go forward into a long future, long in cosmic times. But if we find someone else, we know the answer to that question. We get a proof of existence. It's possible to grow old. Somebody else figured out how to do it. And I would hope that that would motivate us to find solutions to the problems that we face today. We know that somebody else made it through this bottleneck, this technological adolescence. I'd hope it would motivate us to find answers for ourselves.
Today we know that the first contact may occur in not too a long time. It's not easy to figure out what will happen in this first communication, if it will be something positive or harmful to human beings. What is clear is that it will be a turning point in the life of the human species.